Hello everybody, my name is Zelinator, and welcome back to another sunrise here at Megurigaoka. So, it's been a while since the last update video. I did a little VR test a while back, but that wasn't showing off all the goods. So, if you missed it, don't worry. However, if you haven't seen these two videos, go watch them. There will be a link to a playlist first line in the description. But here we are at the main school. Now, one thing that I did differently because I couldn't tell or I couldn't decide while it's making, like, should I have the windows be full? Should I have the windows not be full? Or have be, you know, not there and whatnot. Anyways, long story short, I asked Steven, the main guy of this resource pack, Steven's Traditional, that shall be used for the entire creation of the map, and he sent over some textures that have a lot of little, cracks in them and holes and whatnot. So, for the time being, this is what I'll be using for all the glass and all the glass panes as well, to at least provide a little more aesthetics as to make not every window all nice and clean. However, all these glass doors, they will remain solid for the time being until I work some data pack and resource pack magic. So, one thing I do want to get working on though, these still make the wooden door sounds. I'll need to work on those. I'll need to work on getting other sounds for glass doors specifically. But anyways, the school itself hasn't really changed much. Um, Maybe only a couple minor tweaks here and there. So, on to the good stuff. Over here, as y'all can see, there's a lot more town-ish. Okay, maybe not this area. Over here was newer from the second video, but over here you can see there are a lot more buildings. Now, all of these structure blocks, I will remove them by the time I actually put this world up for download, which will be after I finish this video and whatnot. So the structure blocks are here just so I can make a reference for all the buildings I have created. So all this used to be, I think, mostly just grass. I've added a lot more streets since the last time y'all have seen it. So here I've started working on the town. I've made good progress. There's a lot of sheep. I'm not sure what I'll do about animals. I'll keep them around for now. There's still no trees yet. Trees are going to be the last things I do on this world because buildings are going to be harder. But trees, I'll just find a data pack that makes big, poofy, fancy trees. So the trees are going to be easy. So I'm going to build all the town areas first. So that's all that area. And then, yeah, from a distance, it looks kind of small. But, like, if you're down here on the ground, like, the buildings feel of decent size. Yeah, I know they're all square, they're all fancy. Most of these are just, mass-produced designs because we never see this part of the show. I'm trying to recreate, or I'm trying to fill in all the areas of the city we don't see. So since there's nothing to go off of, I figured, I'll just put a whole bunch of buildings, have it fit the theme of the buildings we do have. So that's all this around here. But as I was saying, I will clean up all the structure blocks when I put this for download. They will be here for the time being, since this is being designed on a server. Um, I'll switch this to single player, make sure it's all goods, and I'll clean up the file folder, and then I'll put it for download after this video. So if we take this long road, now if you remember from the show, there's like a lot of nature after or behind the school building. And also in like one of the, I think it's episode 12, you can see a map of the place or the map of the area, and there's like a big mountainous or just green area behind the school. So that's what all of this is going to be. However, based off of Google Maps of the city of Nerima, I think it's city's proper term, that is how I roughly placed, Megurigaoka station over here. Added some iron bars and whatnot. I haven't started building the buildings that are visible right here, that are both right up in front, and you can also see some in the back. I'll be basing those partially after the school and partially after Nerima Station. Somewhere, actually, I think it's in the world folder that I put a link to I made a Google Maps of marking out the different places of Nerima that were used for reference for the show. So, part of these areas will be designed off of real life locations, others will be based off the anime. So, way over there at the school, that's what I consider residential area A. Now, over here will be residential area B. So, again, since I'm using the main area at the station for reference, I started filling in some area back here. I may add some more roads down here and back this way, but I don't want to go too far because I'm thinking this one road back here, since this leads way back behind the back end of the school, and since it's a whole lot of mountainous area or forests and whatnot, this one's going to be like the main highway. So it's going to be one highway there, residential area here, residential area by the school. So if we go back this way, we follow the road past the station and cross one part of the river. You can see there's more roads back here. So over this way, I've started designing a whole lot more road area, because this will mainly be a lot of the tall business buildings, so that's why I haven't gotten to them yet. I wanted to work on the smaller stuff first, because all of this will eventually loop around the side of the river and will meet up over at the mall is. So you can see there's more of the railroad, the whole minecart track. I'll get to that at the very end. Over here, I kind of just placed this because I'm thinking of designing like a little, maybe like a small park or something, urban park. Like over here, there's a little rough map of the area that I have both designed so far. So here's residential area B, that one's A. So all around here up until the mall, this will all be businesses. Here's Megurigaoka Station, and then here's all the forest area, the rural areas. Here's the school. So over here, this area on the top left side of the river, this will all be those big factories that you can see at the ending credits 1, I think. Because I think they used 2 or 3. But the first ending credits, when you see them walking along the road, the one path by the river, you can see across the river, you can see all those factories and whatnot. That's this whole area. And when I get back over there, I'll show off the path that I consider them walking down. And then at the end of episode 12, for the credits, you see them actually driving along that road. So I'll get to that later. So yeah, this is just mainly my current rough draft of how I plan the map to be. This is going to be another station. I don't have an exact point. This station is for sure there. This station is Megurigaoka, so I'll probably have another 1 or 2 along this path. Subject to change depending on how I build. The railroad's going to be a late design thing. I want to fill in more of the buildings. That way, once I have the buildings done, I could kind of move or sculpt the railroad or it's not really a subway, I don't know, the train line around the buildings so that fits in well. So this area may become like a little park. So I'm thinking like surrounded by tall buildings and whatnot. So time to go back this way. There's a lot of plots. There's a lot of roads here. So I just want to mentally map out what kinds of areas first. Guess I'll go up here. So the mall is still here. It is still kind of by itself because this area from the show, you can see there's a lot of like really tall buildings around here. So that's why I kind of figured, hey, if there's a lot of businesses around here, and then it kind of loops around the river. So I don't know how the city's supposed to be designed. This is kind of just something I'm making up, but based on locations, I'm kind of piecing it all together. So that's where that comes from. And way over here, this station, I might have talked about last one. This is actually designed off of another real life station that was closest to the mall. So I kind of put this station here, Megurigaoka there, then kind of made the railroad around it. So that's all that. Not much to say other than here's the other side of the river. This is where it's going to be like a lot of those big factories and whatnot. And because since day one, I've wanted this to be like role playable in a sense, I will have a lot of functional buildings and whatnot. So I'm not sure what I'll have. I'll probably put stuff like, places for furnaces, blast furnaces, or not smelters, smokers, and other things like, of course it will all be within like all these buildings and whatnot. I might put a, nuclear power plant just because, or some other, big electricity thing. If I could have redstone electricity running all throughout the city, that'd be nice, but don't expect that anytime soon. So anyways, back here. So this is the little thin road I was talking about where, you can see all the big factories in the distance during the end credit scene. So this is the one they walk across this way. So that's all that over there. And as you can see, we kind of loop back to where the school was. Well, off in that direction. There it is. You can kind of see it. And that's mainly what I've gotten done so far. So last thing I want to show you, oh yeah, as you can see, I also kind of worked more on the resource pack a little bit. You can see the HUD is now semi-transparent instead of being fully. I think it fits better for the use of this. So over here, let me pull out a minecart. This, I don't even know if I provided a world download for the VR video. I don't think I did. But this functionality has been around for a little while. But since I want these minecart tracks to be actually functional, as with everything else, so this is just the little start. But I've kind of started on a little concept of, I want this little minecart to work on its own, and I just want regular rails all throughout for as much as possible. That may change by the time the map gets closer to complete. As is, the rails only go partially around. It's not one big loop yet. So, as you saw on the map, wherever it was over there, I think, it only ended part way because I'm not sure how I'll do it. I don't want it to be one big square because that's kind of boring. But you take the minecart, you just chuck an iron bar in it, and now here you got your self-propelled minecart. So you hop on, and then you press S because when you're on a pig in a minecart, it goes backwards. But actually, the pig is in the boat, and the boat's in the minecart. So, anyways, you press S, and now you don't need to do anything. You kind of just let it do its own thing. So it goes pretty fast. It goes faster than just, manually nudging. I'm not sure how fast it goes compared to powered rails, but I'd rather just regular rails because it fits the aesthetic more. So I'm going to try to minimize power rails as much as possible. So this is just another little tidbit of functionality. I'm not sure how I'll handle, true survival mode in a sense that how are you going to get the bars to actually, make your minecart. But, I guess this is kind of it for now. It's already nighttime. I'm still using, Silder shaders. I think I pronounced that right. It is most optimized and fits the the kind of theme I'm going for this world. Because ever since the beginning, I intended it to use Steven's traditional resource pack and shaders and whatnot. That's why, I still have Optifine, which is barely updated finally to 1.16.1. I'm using pre-6. I believe it came out earlier today. So let's see, are we coming up on the station? Probably not. So, I guess that's mainly it for now. There will be other resource packs or data packs and whatnot that I'll show off later. One thing I just realized I forgot to show off, but at the mall, the elevator works if you jump to go up a floor, crouch to go down a floor. I kind of demonstrate that in the VR video, but since it's something small, I don't feel like flying way back there to go get it. So yeah, we are coming up on the station, and I mean, sorry everyone, time to die. So I'm no data pack master, so there's no nice way of doing this, but the concept works, and unfortunately the boat and the pig do not turn relative to the minecart. So, a lot of work to be done. This is just a little side feature that I'm working on, but don't expect much. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, I guess I'll just end it off here, right in front of the station, for everyone who skips to the end. Thank you all for watching. Bye!